Hello there. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. Always happy to find you here. I hope that you are a subscriber. If you're not, you can subscribe anytime while watching this video, including right now. I would love to have your subscription. I'm wanting to share just an observation of Phaedra Parks on The View, I think a couple weeks ago. Her version of how she feels about marriage now that she's supposedly happily single after divorce. So if you're not familiar, I'll also drop just that snippet of the her episode on The View into the description box for your convenience. And I just want to give my view on that. I don't know why I shook my head like that. Like I'm about to really read her, but I'm not. I just want to share my opinion and I need my focus. Please help. So, in this piece, so Phaedra Parks is one of a returning um, cast on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, in my view, the Real Housewives of any of them, the whole franchise, every time they get on the show, the divorce rate goes up for them. I mean, it's phenomenal. I would say, hey, I don't want to be on it because I want to keep my man. I want to keep my husband. We were happy before we got here. But there seems to be some sense of chasing fame or chasing or establishing a personal brand or making yourself more popular. Well, that is fame. So, duh. But there's this chase for that. And before the accomplishment of that, it seems that the marriage goes haywire. Now, maybe it could have been trouble before they got there. But I think that following these franchises from, I think the first one was Real Housewives. Well, I know the first one was Real Housewives of Orange County. And when it first came out, I was a devoted viewer. And then the other New York came, and then New Jersey came, and I continued to be a devoted viewer. I enjoyed it until I started recognizing these three patterns. Now, I don't know why I just put my hand on my. Am I getting ready to read? I don't want to read nobody. I just want to get. I don't know what this body language shift. I need to shift this body language. I think I don't agree with it, so my body language. I cannot do that. And I'm not going to stop and re-record this because it's just not that important of a topic. So bear with your girl. Give me some grace. Give me some grace. But at any rate, I started noticing this pattern where the housewives were always cranky and arguing. And I know that was to keep the viewers engaged. Like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen after the commercial break? Are they going to get it? Are there going to be some throwing of the tables and all that? And I started saying, what adult really acts like that? Now I know it's reality, it's not real, but it was becoming childish and elementary to my level of interest. So I could now have it on and not really be watching, but as a habit would have it on in the house. I began to also notice that they always needed a cocktail. And after the cocktail, they were always arguing and fighting. And then they would fight with their spouse. And then, even after the airing of these episodes, going past the season, you'd find out in real reality that one of two of them were divorcing. To me, that's just too high a price. The marriage. To have a divorce because we are on this show, because of the stress of the show, or it to impact our existing relationship, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I know some of them were earning $600,000 a year or whatever. It's still not worth it because your spouse is to me, your your spouse is an extension of your heart, and it's like separating your heart again. It's just insane to do that. But having said that, there she is on The View. So she's a returning cast member on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she's talking about marriage and that saying that marriage is hard and that she's happily single and that she's now liking to date herself, whatever that really means. but she talks about that. Here's where I have some response to that. Marriage may be hard, but to get into a marriage and you're already a, a partner in this marriage, you deal with the difficulties just like you would anything else in life. It doesn't mean you abandon it. I hate the term of irreconcilable differences because that means that you couldn't bring things back together, but I'm questioning how hard you tried to in the beginning, in the first place, or the second. So there you have that. Then she's talking about she's happily single. Well, maybe you are, but now her children don't have their family or their father, their family structure they were accustomed to, or their father in the household by which they were growing up with. So you're happily single is a selfish. That's a selfish comment. So no, you're not happily single. What you're doing is you're trying to make this marriage that was so hard and you couldn't reconcile, you're trying to make this single life work. I think the comment that she said, I just like dating myself and the freedom of dating myself. Well, maybe you do. But here's the problem with that. You spend so much time on the show proselytizing about dating Mr. Chocolate and how good sex is and how your ex-husband Apollo and what he's doing with you spend a sufficient amount of time focusing on another person who is the love partner for you. How can you be possibly happily single? So everything you're saying has a PR spin that doesn't mirror a reality as you're experiencing in your life. Here's here's the thing about it. Propaganda is fakerism. And you can say these things to people, but if it's not mirroring your actual life, then it's propaganda. It is PR. It is what to say in this situation should it come up. To shield, hide, avoid, ignore the reality. This ain't the life you think you really wanted, but you're just trying to deal with it. So why don't you just say that? Why don't we get to the point to where the real can be accepted? So here's what I would think the real. I can't speak for her, but based on what she said, here's what I would assume the real would be. And it would be this. My marriage with this person didn't work out, and my children's family structure has changed, just like many had or many can as a result of something like this. I seem to have put my personal branding and my desire for fame ahead of my marriage and taking care of my household, and it put too much stress on my household. I have learned from that. That marriage is over, and I'm going to do what I can to have a happily marriage again, should I be interested in that. But right now, I'm trying to enjoy the single life. Now, doesn't that sound more like the truth? Sound more like the truth. I think that's the truth. And here's the truth of the matter. Since I am one who is chained to and loving of the truth, here's the thing. It's okay to bare your soul. It's okay to share your thoughts. It's okay to speak the truth. As long as it is not harming you or someone else, and it is rather liberating something by which you or someone else can be either healed, move forward, embrace one another, or elevate your life. And in her interview, she did none of that. And so that's why I wanted to give my 2 cents word and not clock that T, but tell that truth. If you've gotten this far, please click like, please click subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cherish your relationship. Cherish them. Bye. Oh my God, Phaedra.